Well, here we are again in Kathy's Crazy Kitchen talking about spices. Back to our original video, we talked about 9 spices and we talked about the 5 spices that are most commonly used in your kitchen. But today we're talking about spices that you're going to want to use in your spaghetti sauce or tomato sauce and salads. Italian seasoning is a combination of spices. As you can see here, it is made of oregano, rosemary, thyme, and basil. And one thing that's great about Italian seasoning is it has a lot of vitamins added to it. Because you're using 4 different spices, imagine how many different varieties of health benefits you can get just from using Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning has an earthy, minty, and sweet flavor all at once. And the great thing about it is you can add different spices to give yourself more sweetness or more earthy tone to it. So it's a wonderful spice. It's one of those spices that you'll definitely want to use in your spaghetti sauces or your salads. It offers a great deal of different flavors. I'm excited to tell you about oregano. Oregano is a great spice. It's another spice that also comes from the mint family, much like sage and basil. But one of the things about oregano is it's got a bit of a sweet floral taste, almost a soapy taste. So you definitely don't want to use too much of that in your cooking. It's very rich in antioxidants and it helps decrease inflammation. It's also great for infections because it's got a potent antibacterial to it. So if you're going to use oregano, there's a few things you're going to want to keep in mind. Put it in towards the end of your meal because it does lose its flavor much like basil. And also remember that if you add too much, it's going to taste like soap, and you definitely don't want that in your meal. That's why it's so important, especially when you're using spices like basil and oregano, to taste your meal as you go. You don't want to eat it raw. I know it sounds healthy and you're thinking, oh wow, this is great. I'm just going to eat it off the plant. Don't do it because you're going to be surprised. It's not going to taste good. Trust me. Now let's talk about basil. Basil can come as a fresh herb also, but we're talking about spices, and when it's dry, we consider it to be more of a spice than a herb. Basil has a very strong smell. It's a very pungent but fragrant odor that your guests will smell throughout your kitchen when you're using it. Now, one thing about basil is it also, like sage, comes from the mint family. And if you're going to use basil, when you first put it into your sauce, you're going to notice a subtle peppery taste to it. But after a while, it's actually going to offer more of a sweet taste. So that's why it's very important with basil that you add it at the end of your meal. I hope you really enjoyed the value of these 3 spices. And the next time you make spaghetti sauce, I know it's going to taste so delicious, your guests will be bragging about your meal forever. Thanks for joining us here at Kathy's Crazy Kitchen, and don't forget to subscribe. Just down below, just have to press that little button. See the bell? Yeah, that thing. Yeah. So, take care everybody.